Hello everyone, SMA Watts here. We are going to be playing some standard Heirloom later today, and we are going to be playing Mono Black Control, because I love me some Mono Black Control. Now, Mono Black Control is one of the best decks in standard, but I'm pretty sure we're not allowed to use, like, 80% of the cards in it. Like, none of the Scrylands, none of the Mutavaults, none of no Demon, no pack rat, no nothing. So this is what we have. All right. So as for removal, which is where every Mono Black deck should start, the first issue we run into is Hero's Downfall, Devour Flesh, Away, and there's one I'm missing. Ultimate Price are all not legal. So that leaves us with, in the playable section, Pharika's Cure, Doomblade, Stab Wound, Quag Sickness, and potentially Grisly Spectacle, sort of like this outlier that I'm not using, but I was considering it. But 4 mana is, I don't want to be doing that to kill a creature. Like, that I'm almost never going to be killing a creature that costs 4 mana, so I'm almost always going to be in a mana deficit. Like, I'm at a tempo deficit to do that. So we're not running Grisly Spectacle. Alright, so what do we have? We have 4 Pharika's Cures, because 2 mana, kill a 2 toughness creature, gain 2 life, is really good against linear aggro strategies. They play a lot of 3/2s and 2/2s, so if you can blank one of their creatures from one of their attackers, and then regain some of that tempo that they took out because they functionally are a turn or 2 faster than you, that's amazing. Doomblade is the best removal spell we have available. It's a dead card against another black deck, but against another black deck, I trust they will also have dead cards like Doomblade. So that's sort of and it gets sideboarded out. Read the Bones. Read the Bones, scry 2, draw 2, lose 2. It's the best card draw spell we have available. We do not have access to Underworld Connections. We do not have access to Erebos, so we're reading the Bones. If we did have Erebos, I'd probably run Erebos over Read the Bones. Maybe. He's a little slow. Alright, Stab Wound, Quag Sickness. This is a 1-on-1 because I'm not actually sure which one should be 2 in the main deck. But it's Stab Wound most of the time is worse. Except when it's better, it's a lot better. Like if it doesn't outright kill a creature, like if it's a 2/2 or a 2 toughness creature, they're equal. They both just kill it. Quag Sickness is better anytime the creature has a toughness above 2 and a power above 2. Stab Wound is better anytime the creature has a toughness above 2, but a power below 2. Like against Frostburn Weirds, all the 2/4s that are running around, like other Yaris and all that, Stab Wound is vastly better because you neuter their creature, it sticks there, gives you devotion, and it's bleeding them. But Quag Sickness is an actual removal spell, and in the late game, Quag Sickness can remove anything. It is just enchanted creature dies. Whip of Erebos. I love Whip of Erebos. Whip of Erebos is such a cool card. When I realized Whip of Erebos was legal was when I was like, I'm playing Mono Black Control in Standard Heirloom. Y'all know what it does. It gives all your creatures lifelink, which is an underrated ability, really. And it lets you, for 4 mana, take a creature out of your graveyard and put it into play with haste until end of turn, and then it exiles it. It's phenomenal. I mean, we only have 20 creatures, but all of them are really good when they come into play. Like, Nighthowler's the worst. Alright, our creature base. We have 4 Agents of Fate. Now, Agent of Fate is kind of but importantly, it has Death Touch. Also, the combo is when you put a Nighthowler on it, it causes them to sack a creature, which makes the Nighthowler better. So, I mean, like against an aggro deck, obviously the ideal play is turn 2, you kill a creature with either Pharika's Cure or Doomblade. Turn 3, you play the Agent. Turn 4, you Nighthowler the Agent. And now the Agent's a 5/4 Death Touch. and you just start swinging in. Nighthowler, as I just said, is kind of it's not bad, but it's probably the creature that's most at home getting put into the sideboard, because if they're not playing a lot of creatures, he's just not very good. All right, Disciple of Phenax. I like the Disciple. I really do. Especially when you start having cards that actually come out before it, so that you get to look at 3 or 4 cards when you play it, and potentially then you chump it or you trade it, and then you whip it, and then you get another. It gives you another card. That just starts becoming really. It's a card advantage engine. The creature that, when I looked at it, I was like, really? You're illegal? Why aren't you played more? And it's really, he's not played because of Desecration Demon. Like, Lilianas Reaver is not played, in my opinion, because Desecration Demon is strictly better. But Liliana's Reaver is really good. A 4-mana, 4/3 Death Touch that has the Spectre effect, but also puts a token to play when it makes them discard a card. It does so much. It's like the poor man's Grave Titan. Like, one hit from a Liliana's Reaver puts you so far ahead card-wise. And then everyone's favorite, the Grey Merchant of Asphodel. I'm not going to talk about him. He's awesome. He's amazing. He has his own TV show. All right, our sideboard. We have 4 Duresses in our sideboard because against decks where our removal isn't very good, we kind of have to switch gears and begin using a little bit more discard. Against decks where we need more removal, I'm not sure what that is, but we have... it's really against decks where certain removal spells aren't optimal. Like against another mono black deck, we're going to take out Doomblade. Against a deck that has nothing but big creatures, we're probably going to pull out Pharika's Cure. And we switch these in and out. Crypt Incursion. If my opponent's doing anything recursive, this is just really good. It can also come in against a linear aggro deck if I feel I'm going to need more life gain. Like against a mono red deck that has a lot of creatures, I could see bringing Crypt Incursion in to you pull out the Nighthowlers because they don't have that many creatures, and you're just looking at it as, well, what this will do is at some point I will counter 3 burn spells by playing Crypt Incursion. More whips. There's those matchups where whip is the most important card. And 2 Sengirs. The Vampire is for when we need just more creature. Like, you notice all the creatures we're playing 4 of, so I couldn't just have more of one of them. So I was like, well, what's a good, like, 4 power in the air is pretty respectable. There's probably a better choice that I didn't really take the time to look for, but I like the classics. So we're going to go with 2 Sengirs in the sideboard. Those are generally going to, like, against, like, control, Pharika's Cure. Against a control deck, when we pull out our Pharika's Cures, our Stab Wound, and our Quag Sickness, we're bringing in Duresses and Sengir, and maybe taking out a Doomblade for a whip. That's what the sideboard's looking like. Hope you'll join me for the actual matches.